Hi ho, it's off to work we go with a... Hi ho, hi ho, hi ho, hi ho. Hi everyone, welcome back to CCUK Resin, and you may remember a few videos ago I used my homemade amethyst mold, and if you've not seen how I did it, go back and watch the video. And I promised you guys that I would try a clear one with just that beautiful iridescent film to see if it can create almost a diamond effect. So let's get on with it. Let's get gloved up, let's get some resin mixed, and let's go for it. Just before I get gloved up, guys, I'm going to be using this standard Apex resin for this, the high gloss, because for this piece, I don't need to demold it until tomorrow, and I think it will just give us a better effect, less risk of bubbles using this. I could use deep pour, but I'm not going to. I think this will degas fine, and we'll get a great result. And I think this mold last time took about 6 ounces. So, yeah, let's crack on with the video. I'm going to mix up some of this, so you're not going to have to watch me mix up the resin. And I'm going to mix up 6 ounces and put it through the debubbler, get gloved up, and then we're going to go on to the next stage. So, if you remember last time when we did that beautiful amethyst, I used the almost iridescent film from Intoresin, and I'm going to be doing the same this time. And the hope is that rather than getting an amethyst, and this is the original rock that I used to make that mold, I'm hoping that these crystals will create almost a diamond effect glowing through, and we'll see all of those beautiful colors shimmering off the diamonds, and we'll see if it's going to work or not. So the first step is remove the mold, get some of this film out, and it is absolutely stunning, guys. I really, really do like it. And look at it. Look at all those different colors just shimmering through. So, and you can see, hopefully, that's where I cut the last one. You can just see where I cut it out, you know? So I'm going to do exactly the same. And the great thing is I have my first ever pour of this, which I can use as a template. So I'm just going to put it on there. That's the first ever one. And I went a bit crazy, as always, put a few too many colors in, and I didn't really like the result I got. So I don't want to waste any of this. I'm going to get it as close as I can to that edge. And then I'm just going to draw around it with my pen and hopefully be able to cut it out. I'm not the best, and I always tend to stick my scissors together, so we'll see. But it doesn't have to be perfect at this point. I'm just drawing around the edge. Hopefully getting enough of a line so that I can just see where I need to cut out, hopefully without moving it. And I just have. Oh, why does it never go right when you record? Here we go. And again, just around that edge. And there's probably better markers to use than this pen. But I'm just going to keep going around it, making sure that I've got a rough outline of what I need to cut. There we go. And hopefully that's going to show up. I can just about see it. So, next thing is, have I got a pair of scissors that I haven't closed? So you can just see that rough outline on that film with that marker. So I'm just going to cut this out. And just to get it a little bit closer, I'm going to roughly do it. Okay, good. They are cutting. And then I'm going to go back round, and I'm going to save any little pieces as well, because I can always use those in another piece, and I don't want to waste any of this film. And Terry, if you're watching, Terry Ryan, she sent me this in a happy mail, and I'm so glad she did. I've done a couple of experiments with it now, and I absolutely love it. So thank you very much, Terry, if you are watching. Here we go. So that is the rough template. I'm going to fold the rest away, because I don't want to get resin on it. I don't want it to get messy. So that I can use it over and over again, hopefully. And as I say, this is going to be a pretty straightforward make. Back in the Ziploc bag. So it should be relatively straightforward, this. I'm just going to cut along that line. So, mid-video, my battery showed 75% full on the other phone, and then it just died on me. So hopefully we got to see it. I'll go back and see, but all I'm doing is just cutting that outline The show must go on, even if your recording equipment doesn't. I'm just going roughly around that outline. As I say, it doesn't have to be perfect. I think that's about right, as close as I can to this edge. And that's that shape. And I've just got this little bit here to cut out. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use a little bit of alcohol on a wipe to make sure that that's clean. Because I want this to be beautiful. I don't want to have a risk of any smudges or smears or anything like that going into the finished piece. So, baby wipe, quick spray of alcohol. It'll also get rid of that ink, hopefully. There we go. And one squirt should be plenty. There's that ink. Goodbye, ink. We don't want you in the resin. And I'm just cleaning it to make sure there's no smudges or anything on this film. Shouldn't really matter once it's in, but it takes a few seconds, and hopefully it'll make sure that nothing goes wrong with that piece. So there we go. Happy with that. That is roughly our template. Hopefully it's going to fit in. Now I'm going to get gloved up and get the resin. And there you go. Hopefully all of those colours should just shimmer through those crystals, and we should get a great effect. So see you in a second. So here we go, and we are back, gloved up, respirator on, and ready for this pour. And as I say, it's not going to be the most exciting of pours you've seen on this channel, because hopefully it's going to be pretty straightforward. So I'm just going to get rid of any surface bubbles. And look at that, beautifully crystal clear resin. And then, as I say, I want this mainly clear, so I'm just going to start pouring into all of these crystals. And the great thing with this particular resin, with the high gloss from Apex, is it's not too thick. It's not a very thick one. I wouldn't even say it's medium. It's sort of just lower to medium viscosity. And for molds like this, where it's got to get in every nook and cranny, I think it's a really good resin to use. So I've still left some in there. And that's because I still need to trap that iridescent film in. Now, again, just being a little bit careful not to go too close to my edges, because I really don't want to ruin this mold. It's one that I made. I don't know, well, I could probably make it again, but it would cost me a lot in silicone, so I don't really want to. And again, now what I'm going to do is just tap it. Hopefully getting any of those bubbles that might be in those crystals to dislodge and come to the surface like that. Happy with that. One more there. And then, as you can see, I've got a tiny bit of resin left in my cup. But now we need to fit that template in, and it's remembering which way round it went. I think it went like that. It did. But it's a little bit big at this point. So I'm just going to trim it off. A little bit off here. And I think that's almost perfect. And then I'm going to take a little slither off from around the side, literally the tiniest bit here, because I do want the shape to roughly be right, so it just sits. And again, I'm just going to wipe it again now, because as you can see, I got gloves on and I don't want it to smudge the effect much. So there we go. Let's try again without getting the wipe into the mold. Oh dear. And let's just get it in there. And I think if I now use a silicone tool to just tuck this in, I think we'll be there. Let's have a look. In we go. Come on. And I want this to be touching that resin. Just tucking it in. As you can see. I don't want any of it sticking out. I want it to go in there. And there we go. That fits about perfectly. Now I don't want any air bubbles, so I'm just pressing it around, hopefully getting rid of any air bubbles that might be in there, and letting the resin flow over. And then we're going to just pour in on the top, and I don't think it will sink. If anything, I think it will float a little bit. And there we go. So that's now completely submerged in the resin, and it is in there. So again, I'm just going to give it one more last go around to make sure there hopefully won't be any bubbles. around this edge with this little tool. And then that's pretty much it. I'm going to leave it now to cure until tomorrow. I can still see a couple of little air bubbles in there though. So I'm just going to, again, just very gently go over it just to make sure that any air pockets aren't in there. And I don't mind if there's a little air bubble here and there, because I don't actually think it will affect it in any way. So there we go. That's now done. One last torch to get rid of any surface bubbles. Again, nowhere near my edge. And I'm pretty happy with that. I can see it's all fully submerged. So now it's just a waiting game until tomorrow. And we'll see what we get. But that's definitely submerged in that resin, as you can see. This is beautiful clear resin. And in some areas it sank a little bit, but I don't actually think that's going to impact it. I think if anything, that's going to help the effect that we want. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully the other camera will be charged again by then. We can go back to that and we'll see what effect we've created. I'll see you in a sec. So welcome back. It is the next day and we are ready to demold this beautiful, hopefully what will look like a bit like a diamond cluster. And I'm excited for this because I don't actually have a piece that I like that I've done in this mold, because I gave the last one away in a giveaway. So hopefully this will be the piece that looks beautiful that I keep for me, but we'll see. So again, just pushing it out slightly out of the mold, and it's coming away lovely. I've just got to get my fingers under one side of it, hopefully to dislodge the rest of these crystals. There we go, without damaging anything. And from this side it looks pretty. Oh wow, look at that. That has turned out absolutely stunning. Little bit of a matte effect along that side where it's not particularly shiny. But do you know what? Look at all of those colours coming through. Looks like a cluster of diamonds or crystal to me, or quartz or something like that. And in the different light, you get those different colours. I think that has turned out amazing. And look at it on the black with the black background as well. Absolutely stunning piece, this, guys. Really happy with it. Let me know what you think in comments. But again, that's just clear resin, that beautiful film from intoresin in it. And just look at those colours coming through in the natural light, almost creating like a prism effect. Absolutely stunning. So let me know what you think in comments. I hope you've liked it. If you have, do me a favour, give it a thumbs up, like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Beautiful. Look at that. Wow. Hi ho, it's off to work we go with a hi ho, hi ho, hi ho, hi ho.